right, so we made 5. I should not put 10, my 10 hands, my 2 hands up. We made 5 years as a boutique, and I was just telling Jason, I do not want to not celebrate it, but usually we do little bubbly and bites, but obviously due to COVID, we can't do that. But we are gonna celebrate. But I just wanted to show everybody, like, I guess, or give like a little overview of how we started the whole business and how everything evolved so much.
Yeah, a lot has happened in 5 years.
Yeah, when I think about 5 years, sometimes I feel like, oh, it sounds a little bit, but actually it's been so long, such a journey. Okay, so how I got started into making jewelry was basically I took a class at Beat It and I learned how to solder. And then I bought so much tools and material. We were newly engaged and I had to go home and tell my fiance that I had spent a ton of money on jewelry making tools, and I was like, oh my god, he's going to kill me. Sure enough.
She's still alive.
Sure enough, I went home. I told him, oh my god, honey, I accidentally spent amount of money. Don't you worry though, I am going to make some beautiful things and sell it. So I worked full time at a local credit union. Then I would work a whole day, come home, go on our little dining room table and just tinker all night until the wee hours of the night. One of my first designs was the X cuff, X ring, and 3 wishes. I spent a long time trying to figure out how I would make this product because my whole problem was I could never find bracelets that would fit me. That's why I came up with the X cuff, because it was finally something that I could wear and wasn't too big on my wrist. It fit me and you can squeeze it on and it was perfect. These were actually the first designs that really got our brand name out there and what got people really interested in buying my jewelry. We still have these pieces in our store till today.
They still do really well after
all these years.
Yeah.
I would sit at the dining room table, cut each and every tag. I would print it on these colorful, rainbow colored construction paper and cut out these tiny little squares with our logo and then punch a hole in each and every one and then tie it with a piece of raffia around each ring. So it was a crazy production and totally everything handmade. I mean, literally everything handmade to the very, very end product. But these would be placed in the local boutiques like Milieu, by Neil, Mikinola.
And Sherry literally, I guess they would call it cold calling.
I would walk in with my pieces of jewelry and just introduce myself and ask if they would love to carry my jewelry pieces in their store. Luckily, they said yes. Milieu got approached back then in 2013 to do a midweek shoot, and our jewelry was featured and was actually made on their cover shot. So one of my jewelry pieces was on the cover of midweek. The first year that I started pushing the brand out and everything, and I was so excited and so stoked that it was going so well.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. Still working full-time at the credit union. We would do night market. So night market was brand new back then. It was a whole new concept, which actually started in Kaka'ako, right here in Salt.
Yep, full circle.
But not until then is when Mr. Jason Kira really believed in what I was doing.
Yep.
And
the response was crazy. I couldn't see it in the boutiques because it's not like we stayed there all day and would watch people be stoked on the jewelry, but I'd actually seen all the excitement when they would see it at night market.
We would continue to hustle. I remember during my first trunk show at Fighting Eel downtown, that was an awesome response too, meeting different customers, seeing my friends come on and support. But yeah, even having like Linda from LMS, like she is also the co-owner of TNC Hawaii, which is amazing. So having her kind of, guide me in certain ways or even little suggestions on things was so pivotal for me, and I really look up to her and still do till this day. But we would, continue to do night markets, and when Jason saw the response, like he was saying, that's when I decided he really needs to step in and help me. So I taught him how to solder, and now he is so good. He's better than me. He helped with the whole manufacturing of all of our products.
It's hard to be a one-woman show.
It is. It definitely helps to have the support. I think shortly after, honey, we got married. So just about this time, I was leaving the credit union because of changes.
And I used to work construction.
Yep. And so literally, I had no job, and he was on unemployment.
I wasn't on unemployment yet.
You were.
They laid me off after our honeymoon.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. But we got married nonetheless. Through that craziness, we were like, okay, we have to make this work somehow, because I didn't want to work at the credit union anymore, and he wasn't sure what was happening with his previous.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, what can we do? And that's when he looked into doing a kiosk.
I had a contact at Per Ridge that handled the specialty leasing. So she rented out all the kiosks there. So Sherry and I set up a meeting with her one day, inquired about how much it costs per month, how long the leases are. We thought, hey, I think we can make it work. So we ended up signing the lease. 2 weeks after signing the lease,
I found out I was pregnant. We had no insurance.
No health insurance, no jobs, fresh brand new business.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. I don't even know how we got through that
Me
first
neither.
year, because the rent is not cheap. Even as a kiosk, like you guys, it is serious money, and we don't come from money. Everything that we did was literally grassroots,
Whatever savings we
hustle
had.
and hard work, and reinvesting our money, whatever we made, back into the business. But anyway, nonetheless, we somehow opened a kiosk, and we were there for a good maybe 13, 14 months.
Yeah, 14 months.
14 months, so a little over a year, and it was kind of like a boutique kiosk. It was very specialty. It had our jewelry on one side, and then it had some really cute clothes on the other. During that time, because we opened the kiosk, that's when the stores kind of trickled out on carrying our jewelry, because we had our own little thing. We were like, oh my gosh, like, what are we gonna do? So it was always a dream of mine to open my own store. I mean, I remember when I first met Jason, I told him that was a dream of mine to own a shop. Like, I just loved fashion, and I loved shopping, and I thought, oh my God, if you were a boutique owner, you just had the coolest job ever. And so that was, I guess, stuck in his head, and he was like, let's just do it. Let's just find a spot. And so what happened? Did we contact a realtor?
I contacted someone from Collier's because I seen a phone number at the Milani Town Center, and she said, oh, I have a space that's about 480 square feet, right in your budget. So we were like, okay, let's take a look. But right before we started the boutique, was Bailey born?
Yes. Yeah, we skipped over Bailey. We're terrible parents. She was born during kiosk days, remember?
So we had a brand new baby, and then we decided to pull the trigger on an actual brick and mortar store.
Right before we opened the boutique, we had Rihanna was in town. One of her assistants was getting married. Carissa coordinated the wedding, and I was able to gift Rihanna our jewelry. So when she received it, she actually loved it and wore it out. So I was like so happy. So we closed up the kiosk. It was bittersweet. We loved it there, but we also knew we had to move on
And grow.
and try new things.
Because our little family started to grow.
Yep.
Bailey girl started to grow.
We went to Magic up in Las Vegas, which is a huge wholesale trade show. So we took Bailey at only 3 months old to Las Vegas.
That was crazy.
Yes, but it was insane. My mind was blown. We placed orders, and
Yeah, because we needed to fill the boutique. Because we had a little bit of clothing on the kiosk, but nowhere near enough.
to fill a store, even at 400 square feet. So it was just this little office space, and it was terrible looking. But Jason gutted it. He cleaned it all up. We redid the flooring. We tore down the walls. We repainted everything. We put in track lighting. I mean, everything. And it looked so, like, it was night and day. It looked so good. All the racks and the shelves.
Yep, everything was handmade by me from YouTube.
Luckily, we're also featured in The Voice. So it, helped people know that, we're a new boutique right in the Lani Town Center. We did a grand opening and we blessed our little spot. Next minute later, Bailey is turning 1. So here she is, she's turning 1 years old. And I think at that same time, we were offered to move into a bigger spot at the town center. Hattie's Closet closed down, and so they really pushed for us to move. And so we're like, okay, it's better traffic area, and we thought we would, get more foot traffic and be in a better position there. So we did move.
But we moved only, 6 months after rebuilding the first space?
Yes, this was only 6 months.
So now we had to remodel a second space.
And pay for the whole renovation once again. So it was like another kind of a hit, but we
thought it was the right move.
Right.
More dressing rooms, more space to have more merchandise.
And a back office.
But we made it look pretty much exactly like the other, and we loved the look of the first one. So we went with the same exact flooring, painted all the walls white, track lighting. Yeah.
But yeah, we got to be part of the Best of Honolulu Fest. So we still did different pop-ups. I still continued to do designs, graphic tees and hats.
Bailey was our best little model.
I trained her when to pose and laugh in photos. And but yeah, she was good. She loved it. She was such a ham. Got featured in Midweek again at a different time.
And 2-page spread.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And then in 2017,
we won Best Minimal Jewelry. So that was exciting, and I love the photo that they took. We have it hanging in our dressing room. So if you want to read and check it out, come by. Then we looked into
doing a second location.
Yep, and we looked right here at Salt.
We just felt like it was a really good up-and-coming area. We know that Kamehameha Schools owns the area, so they really like local businesses. So we liked the vibe of the area, and we pulled the trigger, opened a second store.
So here we are. It was very bare, and then here comes another
renovation. Or this isn't a renovation, it's brand new construction.
Which is a lot, because that means you have to pour concrete to fill the store. It was all just gravel before, but we hired this guy named Josh who became friends with Jason.
We basically built this store from the ground up with our own hands.
All
the shelves, woodwork, racks.
And then I did milk and cereal with my girlfriend Holly. Now we had the 2 stores running. We opened Kaka'ako. We did a grand opening. That was fun. But yeah, we just continued to
have 2 stores, which was a new experience for us. We thought we were doing good with 1 store. We thought we had it down until we had 2 stores, and that was a whole nother animal.
It's a lot. It's a lot with employees and everything. It is very, very hard to manage all the things, all the moving parts. But we continue to support local, buy local products, and then still continue to do trunk shows. So we did trunk shows at Nordstrom.
That one was fun.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
And then we tried to live life. So we went to Coachella. We took Bailey to Coachella while the girls manned the stores and took care of everything. We celebrated our 3rd year at Mililani. And at that time, I think one of our longest-standing employees, Corey, was about to leave as well, so we did a dinner for her. But yeah, we won.
In 2018.
We won Best Local Baby Shop.
In Hawaii's Best?
In Hawaii's Best.
That's the Star Advertiser,
Yeah, we went to the event and had an amazing time.
All the winners of the restaurants from that year had little pop-up booths there, and were serving their best dishes. Good news that year, we won Hawaii's Best in the Star Advertiser, and then right after that, we found out
I was pregnant. I was kind of getting sick, but we still took a trip to New York to go to the, what is it called?
It's Coterie, Coterie. I don't know how to pronounce it.
The fashion trade show there. Jason's never been to New York, so we wanted to do a last trip before I gave birth because who knows, right? And so we went, had a great time, came home. A couple months later, found out I was having another girl. Yay, Jason, girl dad.
And yeah, our employees threw us a gender reveal.
Gender reveal.
Gender reveal.
Yes. And then here we're celebrating 1 year at being here at Kaka'ako location. So we just celebrated being very pregnant, and then we decide to close Mililani. So we closed Mililani last year in March.
Which was just in time because Sherry was due to give birth in May. I mean, we wanted to keep it, but we just couldn't work it out with the owners of the Mililani Town Center, so we just decided to close. But I think it all happened for a reason because, you know, Sherry gave birth 2 months later, and looking back on it, that would have been a lot. 2 stores and a newborn.
Yeah. Yeah, so after closing Mililani, I launched Paradiso, threw a party at Kaka'ako, tons of fun, and then Bailey got sick and she was complaining about like the back of her head hurting. Here I am, I'm so huge and pregnant, but we rushed to the children's hospital because the doctor, when we called the doctor, he said, take her to the emergency room, she might have meningitis, right? It was the most stressful ever. Like I was freaked out because Bailey had to do a spinal tap.
Sherry was having some contractions at the moment.
I was having major contractions at the time. They ran so many different tests on Bailey, couldn't find anything wrong with her. So we called my mom to pick her up from the hospital. So we spent the entire day at Kapiolani Hospital.
Sherry's contractions started to get closer and closer. I think it was partially due to the stress of Bailey being in the hospital.
Yep. So my mom picked up Bailey and then we went straight to the triage.
Yeah, we just walked right upstairs.
Went right upstairs and I gave birth to Lila the next day. So it was crazy.
Crazy 48 hours.
Crazy. But here Lila is and I was so happy. She's just a joy to have in her life, and
she's our little sassy one.
She is so sassy. She's so fun though.
Yeah, here's Lila.
Okay, so Lila was born.
We took some newborn pictures with our friend Lucy.
Yes,
who does
amazing.
Awesome family photography.
And then 3 months later, we did the same thing that we did with Bailey. We took the baby to Las Vegas with us, like crazy people do.
Yep.
So yeah, we had a toddler and a baby, 2 kids at the show. But you know, you just gotta boss up and do the things. And that's what we did. And it was still a lot of fun and we still tried to make the most of it. We went to California as well. We went to Disneyland for a day and tried to like, you know, because Bailey was going through a transition to being the big sister and we really wanted to show her that we still love her.
Make her feel special.
Yeah, and did some talks at Kanoilani Elementary, and then after that did some others where we talk about the business and educate kids.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that schools are doing entrepreneurship.
Yeah, because I wish I learned that kind of thing. Now we're celebrating that we made 2 years here at Kaka'ako, and you know, we did a little celebration and then COVID hit. So here's COVID, but we still tried to make things work, put on different jewelry sales for everybody. We had a
COVID Easter, stay home Easter.
Yep, COVID Easter. And then we took everything home for like a couple weeks and then we brought everything back because things were slowly opening up again. Still uncertain, still hard to tell.
We're still living day to day.
Yeah.
You know?
And we're still just
I'm
trying
sure
to...
you folks are as well.
Yeah, but we're still trying to celebrate the small things. Like Lila's birthday, she turned 1 this year. We just did a small little family picnic. Still try to
celebrate milestones.
Celebrate these moments because it's still so important. But that's that in a nutshell.
It's the past 5 years.
Yeah, well we've been it's been longer than 5 years, but I meant when I say we made 5, I meant 5 years as an actual brick and mortar store, because that is the real the real hard work.
It's a lot of work, but we wouldn't have it any other way. We love it.
But we're so grateful. We are so grateful because we have amazing customers that really you know, show their support, want to support local, want to support our small business, and we're like made friends with some customers. It's so awesome, right? If you think about all the different relationships we've built over the years, like it's amazing. Yeah, it makes me so happy though.
We appreciate it all, each and every one of you.
But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this little video.
Yeah, that's the past.
That's the past.
And now we move into the future.
Thank you.
See you guys this weekend.
Sending all the love and virtual hugs, guys. Bye.
What it's all about. Yummy. In my tummy. Chris. Avocado. Dollar. Holla. Yeah, she's a taco baller. Make y'all wanna holla. Kira Hawaii, come